Alright, we are recording, so continuing in Mad Max. Key was originally provided by WB Games way back in 2015. Maybe 6 years shouldn't be considered way back, but it kinda is. Yeah. 2015 was a good year, though. Lots of good games came out then. Alright, what am I doing? I'm trying to remember what... Oh, yeah, I remember that. I do remember. It does not feel like it's only been a week, by the way. It's been a busy week.
If you're looking to gain the favor,
Which, hey, that's a good thing.
always do a death run. Krogastle's not far.
Alright, so I actually do have a number of things we can talk about. A number of things noted. Among them would be that, well, true, I'm recording this Friday. Goes live Saturday. New review went live today for Chorus, which is... It's not perfect. Definitely has weaknesses, but there's still some pretty neat things that it did in there. Third person, space-based, a lot of the combat is dogfighting, aerial dogfighting kind of thing. And it actually does that pretty well. It's like there are some games that don't really manage dogfighting nicely. Like it's too complicated. And stuff, but no, it was actually quite easy to manage. Not perfect. Would have liked it if you could control your own role, but I still enjoyed the story though. And unfortunately, one thing, so in the build that I reviewed, it did have the ray tracing as an option. Apparently they dropped that for the released build, which I don't even think that's the first game I've seen that happen with. It's just going to come later. I have seen a comment from the developers that, yep, that, or maybe it was from Deep Silver, the publisher. But in any case, yeah, the ray tracing stuff will return in the future. And I do hope it's more than just reflections, as I state in the review. That my own speculation is that ray trace reflections in this game are not going to matter that much.
Oh no! A warboy horde!
Keep an eye out. No surprises.
Yeah, it's just... I am concerned that it would end up like MechWarrior 5, where it's like, yes, you can have these real-time, accurate reflections. You just need to get so close to the thing that, you're doing it wrong, basically.
Like no warboy!
Because like in MechWarrior 5, if you are getting close enough to actually see the reflection of your mech on another, then that means you're close enough for melee, to be meleeed, and you don't want to be that close. Unless you have a very specific build going. So yeah, in Chorus, I don't know. I feel like that would be the case. But it's also, it didn't, like Steam Cloud save over so that I could pull it up on the test system with the 2016 there. To try it when the setting was still there. Yeah, don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, but one other thing that's kind of neat, at least to me personally, is that with that review, which, because I've been doing the, capturing and sharing the review playthroughs for however long now, I actually have something set up that will tell me how many hours, because I've been, not always, but for a lot of the reviews, I track how much, I track the playtime. I also track, if there's a review playthrough or not. I've crossed 1,200 hours just of the review playthrough recording. That's a lot. I think it's still over like 3,000 hours or something, or near 3,000 hours that I've done in reviews for those I've tracked. Because as I said, I haven't tracked all of them. I'm just can't tell. Damn, the sun is going up, not down. There's a reason why, and I'm certain I did say this in the last part. You have to, if you're going to have things that are dependent on time of day, you have to give the player a way to directly control time of day. Just want to check. A couple other quick, oh, you know what? Actually, I can that. A couple other quick things for, the directly video game news. Dying Light 2, which I'm looking forward to, is, it has gone gold, which means that it is, able to basically be manufactured. I mean, yeah, there'll still be a day one patch, but it is otherwise finalized. It's releasing in February, but the developers, in the press release, it did say that they will be spending the time with further optimization, further polish, trying to make it even better than what it will be in its current state. But yeah, that's good, and it's also, I feel like pointing out, its original release date was November, wasn't it? So it's like we are past when its original release date was. Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure. That. And the other thing is, and this actually was just today, point that I don't think I even caught it in the Friday news item because I didn't get it in time. I think I could be. Yeah, no, it that is the case, because the one THQ Nordic thing that I got that I did cover in it, what concerned Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and it getting an expansion. Well, now Titan Quest Anniversary Edition has gotten another expansion, which is not its first, since it since it's been re-released in this Anniversary Edition state. That first one was the Atlantis expansion. No, this is Eternal Embers. I needed to check the thing. Need to check my notes for what the name was. Where apparently you go to Asia. Yeah, and that is actually already live, and $18. Its actual list price is $20, but it's got it that they have marked down apparently for 10% off a little bit. I don't know if I'll pick that up or not. I'm tempted to, because I did enjoy the Anniversary Edition and the Atlantis expansion, but it's also just one of those. I don't feel like spending the money at the moment. I've got so many other things. So many other games and such. Don't really need it. I did wish list it, though. Alright, so the other news I got. Why would I turn the valve? I guess that's the way I have to go? Well, is this the end? Okay, no, I don't want to go. That's into that labyrinth that I've already been through, so that should be clear. I hope. Let me also just... Yeah, and so... 3 more scrap, 1 more... and hopefully they were all back here. Somewhere. So the other two pieces of news, scrap right now, are one concerns GOG, the other concerns NVIDIA. And I don't know which, well, the NVIDIA one is probably the more significant, but at the same time, I think it also isn't the first example of this news, so it may not be all that surprising. I don't remember. Had there already been one of the regulatory bodies suing to try to block NVIDIA purchasing ARM? Well, rather the ARM Limited Corporation that's behind the ARM design? I thought there was another one that at least was reviewing it again to decide if they can, which was something of a, yeah, chances are they're gonna sing. Yeah, now the U.S. FTC, Federal Trade Commission, has filed suit to block the acquisition, citing that it has concerns that it would ultimately stifle competition, stifle innovation, and lead to higher prices, lower quality, and things. So, just, the kind of background explanation for all this stuff. I don't remember exactly when it was, but NVIDIA announced that they wanted to purchase ARM, which ARM is kind of a weird company, It's the model is one that it's a good thing they were successful, because I could definitely believe a lot of people, if they had tried, if you weren't successful, there would only be failure, kind of thing. Where basically ARM does not manufacture any of the CPU. Not a one, is my understanding. In fact, they don't really even produce the CPUs that they design. Instead, they are a company that you can go to acquire designs or to have special designs made for you. They license stuff. At least that is my understanding, and it could be wrong. I should admit that. Should acknowledge that. I could very easily be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the setup. That's based on stuff I remember learning years ago now. I really want to find this scrap, and it gives me time to talk. So I'm just trying to think what would be Qualcomm. They use ARM designs, right? They go to ARM and work with ARM to design them, and then ultimately Qualcomm is the one that manufactures them. And it'll be, a Qualcomm chip, not an ARM chip. It'll be using ARM design, but it would be a Qualcomm chip. That's my understanding for how it works. Well, that has enabled ARM to be very neutral, because they'll work with anyone. So they can work with AMD, they can work with Intel, they can work with NVIDIA, they can work with IBM, they can work with Qualcomm, they can work with Microsoft, they can work with Samsung, they can work with Sony, they can work with... You get the idea. And as I said, that's... If you have something successful, that'll work well. If you don't have something successful, the reason why I would see that, failing... there would only be failure, as I put it, is because if you're not forming any strong allegiances, if you don't have something that brings the people to you, you're not going to be able to go to them, kind of thing. But they succeeded. They certainly have succeeded. Well, the FTC is saying that if NVIDIA were to acquire them, then that would give reason for other companies to not trust ARM anymore, because they're no longer this neutral party. They're NVIDIA. Maybe I did miss some stuff in that one place. I hope not. It also, they cited the concern that, well, like AMD working with ARM, and that has happened. In fact, Intel would have as well, because I think that the secure enclave kind of thing, I think that is actually an ARM design that Intel uses in there, and same with AMD for its, is it PSP? Is that the name of it? Platform Security Processor? I don't remember. Well, at least not clearly. That is a thing, I just don't remember if that actually is what AMD uses. But anyway, part of what the FTC cited was that, yeah, because that, was developed with ARM, that means that ARM has certain insight then into AMD products, Intel products, and so on. Well, if NVIDIA purchases them, then NVIDIA would get this special insight into their competitors' technology, which would further stifle the interest of these companies to work with ARM, because, like, we're just going to be handing the stuff over to NVIDIA. And also the concern that NVIDIA, well, that ARM would be compelled, obligated to work towards NVIDIA's interests. So not necessarily coming up with as good of designs for AMD, Intel, Sony, Qualcomm, Samsung, all the names that I mentioned, and others, because I'm sure there's a lot more than I thought of. It really shouldn't be having the gas leak sound effect right now, because I shut all that off. Can try the good old just keep to the right. Hopefully we find this stuff. So yeah, it's not too surprising, because it's also the whole, it's like no matter what pledges NVIDIA would make, it's like you can't put the genie back in the bottle kind of thing. So yeah, it makes sense that there would be lawsuits to stop it. Yeah. But it does also make you wonder, because in theory you would think, SoftBank, the current, I don't remember if they actually own it outright, own ARM outright, or if they just own a controlling interest. Okay, so this is the exit. So it's not the way I want to go. Yeah, I don't know how much they want to divest, how much they want the sale to just get out of ARM. Because, they may have already made the money that they wanted to off. Or they might feel that it's no longer as profitable as they wish it to be. Don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting. The FTC trial, which, by the way, the vote to file the lawsuit was apparently 4-0. I don't know how many commissioners there are in the FTC, and I didn't take the time to look that up. But the trial would be in August 2022. So several months away, which I kind of can't help but feel like NVIDIA would just back off, would just give up. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure this isn't the only lawsuit to stop them. Where is the other... Where is this? Okay, so this is actually where I came in. I'm just gonna head back. Can I cheat it a little bit? I think... this will probably... I think it's more or less if the sky's above you, you can warp. You can fast travel. Hello? Can I... Oh, it's on this. Yeah. Oh, and also I'll note that the FTC in the press release did cite specific examples, specific markets that they felt this influence may end up occurring, and things like self-driving cars, because that's something that NVIDIA is already competing in, but some of its competitors use ARM products. So if NVIDIA would have purchased them, they would then have information on competitors that they would not normally have. So that was one thing. Deployment in data centers. Well, it is used in ARM being used in data centers where NVIDIA also is. And in fact, what was it? There was something not that long ago they announced. I think it was NVIDIA, like specific servers that would use NVIDIA GPUs, but actually with ARM CPU. Which, depending on your workload, makes perfect sense, because ARM is not a very powerful CPU design compared to x86, but it's, can be very efficient. So you could have these very efficient ARM cores, feeding a lot of power-hungry and very powerful GPUs. And, depending on what the workload is, that may be exactly the configuration you want. And for anyone out there that's like, oh no, ARM is amazing, it's so powerful. It's like, nah, not really. It's very focused. It is very, very focused. Is how I would put it. Because like x86 includes so much legacy stuff today. And also, don't forget, x86 technically isn't used. No, seriously, it isn't. It's the x86 64 or AMD 64 that it supports the old x86 commands, but it is technically a different instruction set. I'm gonna get a drink of water before I do this mission. And by the way, I suspect this mission gets me in somewhere, and that's where I find the others. Part of the reason I think that is I feel like I once, tried to figure that out when I was playing the game, like years ago. But yeah, x86 and ARM, they approach things very different. And ARM has had a design that, like, for smaller cores, but many of them, with x86 larger cores, few of them, but they can do anything and do it very quickly. ARM cores can still do a lot of things, but not always. Always comes down to use.
Fresh meat for the grinder. Straight from the unforgiving wastes.
I want to join the races.
You see that slate? You put your mark on it. Then I'll put you in the murder dome. You work the blood and guts circuit for a couple of years. Survive it, make champion. Then maybe I can start grooming you for a shot in the races.
No time, Jawbone. I need to join the races now.
Okay. Maybe we can find a spot for a man of your, temperament. Yeah. In return, for a favor. A very dangerous, possibly suicidal favor. Huh? You see these? These are lighties. But they fade. And when they fade, I fade with them. But if a man, a very desperate man, were to fetch me some new ones, you follow me, Wastelander?
You want new bulbs?
I want new lighties! Yeah! I want a lot of them! I asked them all! The gangbangers, the torpedoes, the newsmen, but no one would help me! You know why? Because they don't have the stones for Buzzard Country.
Tell me exactly where they are.
Follow this, and you'll get to the Underdune. Bon voyage!
All right.
That twinkling bag of lard puts you in the races?
First he wants an errand run.
Ha! This is good news. We do the Outcriers bidding, and you're in the races. Soon the big chief is ours.
You know of a place called the Underdew.
Oh, by my angel, I wish I didn't.
How bad is it?
We all dream of the Underdew for its riches. But to go there is a last dance with death.
I'm getting the big chief.
As juice ignite the lubes and vulcanized rubber runs the road, I'll please start a function stair course.
There.
Blast his rubber rim.
So the other piece of news that I have is the Q3 financials for the CD Projekt Group, which, just trying to remember, is more than the two, GOG and CD Projekt Red. But that information came out, and CD Projekt Red did all right. But GOG actually did not. It lost money overall, apparently. Yeah, it overall it was still net positive for the group, but yeah, just GOG apparently not doing so well. And to address that, they decided, and this is I shared managed to find the. Why is he not repairing? What the heck? The health isn't moving. Oh, there it is. Anyway. So, yeah, the earnings call presentation, and also a transcript of the call, saw PDFs of those, and I shared links to them in the news item. That they are.
No other way. None who venture to the Underdoom ever return.
Road vermin don't scare me.
No, not roadkill. Buzzards. It's a vile maze of dread. We can't go.
No alternative.
It won't be worth it, I'm sure. So let's go.
Oh, holy, holy.
Alright, how does it? Yeah, so apparently they are going to have it refocus to GOG's original principles, original philosophy, which translates to a hand-selected, a storefront of hand-selected DRM-free games. Because it has definitely expanded to beyond that in recent years.
The dunes.
Oh, endless. And everyone a possible trove for treasure. A man could go mad dreaming of it.
No detours. We follow this road or risk getting lost forever.
It's not that bad. And it has also got some flack over the years with allowing games that are not completely stripped of DRM, which personally, I mean, there's DRM and then there's DRM. It's like there's DRM where it's like, yeah, the game has an online component.
The tower, a black beacon for those tunnels of doom.
That's right, it's actually an airport. Anyway, where it's like, oh yeah, you need an online account in order to do this, and so there's DRM, but it's almost like it's about protecting your rights to your account, so no one, playing under your identity kind of thing. And then there's, the DRM of, we're monitoring everything your system is doing, so we can make sure that it's, that you have a legal copy of the game. It's like those are quite different. Is there anything to do down? Anything else? So, and I'm not, disagreeing with those who demand that no, it all is stripped away. But it's like, I do understand that sometimes DRM is necessary, and also, it is a form of DRM when it's like, no, it's, your account. It's like that is also a form of DRM, and you can't say it's not. It's protecting your rights instead of the developers or publishers' digital. But yeah. So it will be interesting to see what comes of it. They are doing some reorganization. It wasn't clear exactly what that means, except that they did say that, like, they have some developers that work on online components. Well, apparently the online components are really only used by CD Projekt Red titles, so they're just going to move those developers into the CD Projekt Red studio. Also, they are pulling it out of the pulling GOG out of the Gwent consortium, which means they don't get the cut of the profits from that, but they also don't have the costs of it. So, yeah.
Looks like the Underdune was an airport.
So many awful tales about this place.
One thing not really explained is how old Max is. Because he seems to have an awareness of, like, he knew they were bulbs. That other guy, who's obviously a full-grown adult, was calling them lighties. And it is interesting. But it also might be in part that Max is just meant to be the a man of the past placed into this setting.
Oh no! Hey!
All right.
Most infidels fail to recognize the sacred parts of the great spiritual schemes scattered across the hills and valleys. I recognize their scrap as treasure.
One thing that I would love to see them do, GOG, is we got the Steam controller API. I'd love if they made their own version. Even if they...
Sphere? What manner of pagan temple once stood here?
Focus. We're here for the bulbs.
Or even if they worked with Valve to somehow get that into GOG. There's a game I'm doing some recordings in. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Not for review, for my own stuff.
No turning back.
And
what crouching horrors await us in that gloom?
It's... I have it on GOG. I have to launch through Steam though in order to use the DualShock 4 control, because the controller API. And it's like, it'd be so nice if that could just be built in, and arguably that would even be part of the whole getting, having support so that these classic games work with modern machines. To have some kind of controller API that's able to emulate some of the original input strategy. Because there are some that are weird. And Lego Star Wars isn't even all that old. can't say I recall seeing much else come out that's all that interesting. But much else in way of news, I mean.
They're here, watching us, hiding. If we cannot lower that bridge, we will go no further.
I'll do it. Stay here.
Oh, but hurry. I feel their red eyes upon us, upon her.
Why don't they attack?
I remember, I think it is like they want you to see. But I don't remember how much intelligence they
Studying me.
give the buzzards here. I mean, like Red Faction Guerrilla, I don't remember what they're called now. But they were just another faction that were, you know, quite intelligent. In fact, they had been scientists. Not the case here. I think it. I also just remembered something, because I was noticing a little bit of aliasing here. There's a weird anti-aliasing bug in Chorus that I found. And I did report it, so hopefully that'll be fixed before long.
The cavernous belly of the Underdog.
Yeah, where anti-aliasing is actually not being controlled by the anti-aliasing setting. Maybe it has been fixed. But I looked at a patch last night, so before release, if there was nothing day of release that I didn't get, still there. But post-processing controlled it. Post-processing quality, not anti-aliasing quality, controlled it.
Until we find where we came from.
But I did alert them to that. I also found a couple other bugs and reported. One of them I do know that they were working on a hotfix for, and I think it's part of the day one patch. And that one was actually interfering with gameplay. It didn't break anything. Like, if you just reloaded a checkpoint, it was fine. I mentioned it in the review, though, and obviously you will see it in the review playthrough if you watch that. But yeah, it's, you know...
All is looted here, too. Gotta keep on.
You know, it just, you know, bugs happen, and they really weren't that terrible of issues. But ones that I do hope get fixed before long. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that. I did... Well, hold on, let me, before getting to that, one other thing with the course, performance is so solid.
The ladies, we get them, Osage. We bring them back to the outcrying big bag in Gastown. We will. But how to reach them?
Not by car, anyway.
Yeah, like, the RX 580 was, like, which is what I'm using right now, at the epic configuration, so the highest settings in the game. The highest settings the game offered. And it was, I had two of the places I record data in at 120 FPS, averaging right around there. And for the third, it was averaging around 90. Yeah, the game was performing very well. But now, true, that was also pre-release data, so hard to know how accurate that will prove to be. But I doubt it will change much. Like, if it has changed, I doubt it will have been by much. So, I'm not going to do... I had initially intended to do a performance analysis, but I don't think I will, just because it's... You know, to what end? The GTX 770 data may be in... Well, that would be interesting. The 980 is the only other thing that might be. But it also very easily might not be, because the 980 is comparable many times to the 580, the RX 580. You know, those two definitely do trade blows back and forth. It's possible, you know, they'd trade some more there, but in course, but it's, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be worth my time. But no, the other thing was, I had mentioned, I think I mentioned that I had ordered 2 things for Black Friday. One were a pair of Bluetooth headphones that did arrive and should work very nicely for how I want to use them. Well, I've already used them that way, and they did work nicely. But the other was Novel Keys was selling mystery bags of switches, and I ordered one because it's like, 15 cents a switch. Still have to pay for, tax and shipping and handling, but, for $16, got 70 switches of, I didn't know what type. They arrived today. They are box navies, which are, if you look through my Switch reviews, you will find
the weapon ready.
You'll find the box jades that I reviewed. Those are clicky switches. Those are lighter versions of the navy. Much.
Push
The
on.
peak
Get the bulbs.
the peak force for the box jades. I'm just doing this from memory because I looked at Novel Keys product pages for them. But the peak was 70 grams of force, which, yes, I know grams is not a unit of force, just go with it. But it was 70. The lowest,
Where are you running?
the actuation force, which is the lowest of the 3 forces that are listed for the box navy, is 75. They're much heavier. Whereas the peak force and the bottom out force are both 90.
That's just a bunch of mannequins. The store. Gotta be this way.
Yeah, they're appreciably heavier. Now, because they are so similar, and the fact that I already,
Now.
almost always bottom out my switches, so it's like I'm not going to notice how heavy they are, I'm not going to bother with reviewing them.
Oh, there it is.
I'm just trying to think, how do I want to use them?
Grab the bulbs and get out.
But one thing I am thinking about doing, though, is contacting Novel Keys and just saying, you should have this be a more regular thing. Because I can believe that for a lot of new people to custom
Enough for
keyboards,
toes.
that just there's so many options for switches that basically being like, you know what? No, give me a random linear, give me a random tactile, give me a random clicky. I think a lot of people that would work fine for them. In fact, I even remember when I reached out to Novel Keys about doing the custom mechanical keyboard stuff. I said, I don't even know what I want. And if you can just provide a good selection, which they did. I'm quite a good selection. They provided the Silk Yellows, the NK Creams, the NK Blueberries, and the Box Jades. I think that got a few of them. Oh. Ow. I didn't notice the line until too late.
Hurry! You got the ladies!
Got him.
Of those, it's like I'm using the Silk Yellows actually in the macro pad that I have here, and it's a hot swap, so I can change them out. But yeah, those are nice. The creams I think I'd want to go through and lubricate, and it's like I don't necessarily feel like doing that. Plus, I don't have lubrication for it to do that at the moment. I could order more. I actually did think about doing so. with Black Friday because they were selling it a little bit cheap. I just didn't. But it's like, I don't know what build I want to do, so I, for now. But no, the creams are nice, but they are definitely, I understand why people like, yeah, you gotta break them in and you gotta lubricate them. The blueberries, you can't get it anymore. I was actually kind of hoping for, like, it would have been awesome if the mystery switches that I'd gotten, I shouldn't say that they sent, I should say that I got, because I did purchase them. I kind of wish that it was the new cream tactiles. Is that what they're calling them? Which they do have a more rounded curve to them, but I did see a review of them that was not the most favorable. Still, I'd give them a shot. Yeah, the Jades, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the feeling of them, but I'm not necessarily much for clicky. Clicky switches. But I do know people are. There are some people out there that are. I think my brother likes louder switches, and one of my co-workers likes it as well. I put box of Jades in the NK65, because that's what I use when I go into the office. I bring that with me. And he very much enjoyed that. And it's like, good for him. It's like I put the JWK silent linears that I lubricated and filmed. I put those back in afterwards. And I do intend those to be like the long-term switches for the NK65. Yeah, so I said I don't know what I'll do with the Navy, but I'll think of something.
Still draw breath. Let's hurry back to gas time and deliver.
You better be ready.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like of all the, and I'll also just say, when I placed the order and was thinking about, what switches might they be, getting box navies did occur to me, and it's like, I'd be happy with that. It's like, I don't know, as I said, I don't think I'll review them, because I bought them out already. I don't even know how much I'd noticed the extra force. But I'm glad to have both, because they are, if you want a clicky switch, those are the two that are recommended so often, I see. So it's like, this way I have them both. So whenever it's like, ooh, I want to, show somebody a custom mechanical keyboard, it's like, what is possible with that? And oh, they want it loud. They like loud switches. Well, here are two very popular options for that. So I am very happy with having gotten the box name. There might have been others that I would have been more happy with, but I'm happy with it. Yeah, actually, the only ones I can think of that I would have been potentially more happy with would have been Wow.
He gives a dog away.
I kind of lost track of my train of thought now. Oh yeah, that's right. The box silent pink and browns I would have actually think like more. So those are kale box switches, but the pinks are dampened, which if you look at them, the box switches have a fairly different design. And you can see some of that if you look at the box Jade review I did, because I did take one apart. Yeah, the box pink, the box silent pink, and the box linear, the box silent brown are tactile. but both are silent, and just I would have been interested to see how those are. But it is also one of those, you know, it's like I got enough. Until I start doing some more builds that, you know, start using up these switches, it's like I really shouldn't get more. It was just, you know, the fun of, you know, mystery switches and the price. It's like, yeah, why not? I'll spend the money. Yeah, there's nothing around here I can think of to chuck one of those at, so we'll just keep going. Oh, and something else I would also say with the whole, you know, just have a mystery switch thing as a normal offering. It would also be neat if they were a place that were like mystery PCB. I'm serious. I'm serious. I think that would also be a fun thing, especially for those that are more experienced. Where it's like, yeah, just give me something, I'll build it. But also for some new people where it's like, I don't know what I really want, just give me something. Because you may be very surprised by what you find is good for you. Like, I mean, the 60% I'm using, I can still remember, even though it's been, what, more than a year now? Thinking, you know, when I first put it together, I had there that, and with the NK65 too, that I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to adapt to this. Having come from full size, always using a full size
territory.
But I'm completely comfortable on the 60%. Yeah, there's times when doing certain things where it's like I'm a little slow because it's like I have to remember exactly all the layers, but that's, you know, like, okay, I need to, you know, activate the layer, hold down shift, well, hold down control along with the layer to have the arrow keys so that I can, you know, quickly move the cursor through some text. Now I need to release control, hold down shift to select so many characters, and then I need to release shift to type them, not to capitalize. And it's like, you know, that adds up. And, you know, I do sometimes need to think about what I'm doing there to actually do it. Or do it correctly. But, I mean, it's... Otherwise, no, I don't... I missed having the number pad. But now I got a macro pad for that, so I'm covered. I mean, it's, you know, quite a good, acceptable, enjoyable, even preferable setup to me now. I think I've talked about it before, like, if I were to design a PCB, what I would do would probably be 60%, and then with an array, a 5x4 array a little bit to the right of it. So that way, you know, basically 60% with macro pad already built in. That's what I'd go for, because past that, nah, you don't necessarily need it. Yeah. So yeah, just need to leave now. But yeah, a random PCB, you know, depending. Maybe I'll even making a random PCB with matching case and plate. That might be harder to do. But yeah, I mean, it's like that could be a lot of fun. And there are, different, even in the same layout, same size and layout, there are various PCB that have their own advantages and disadvantages. And it's like I know what the next two builds are that I want to do. One would be ideally a plane, which is a ortholinear 40%. And I'm waiting for the version 7 of that design. Did I let go too early? I have no idea. But there's also, like, what are some of the ones I've seen? The JJ40, the BM40. It's like there are other 40% ortholinear. But they have, like, things put in different positions. I think I saw one that it does not have an integrated controller on. But where it does have it is actually on the side. So imagine, like, having the USB port under tab and pointing out that direction instead of pointing out through the top. And I get how you may be like, oh, that's weird, but it's also, like, it's a small enough board that it actually makes some sense to me that you'd have it that way. There's no way in. Like, that design doesn't seem that unreasonable to me. Oh, hang on. I think this is actually... Yeah, Okay, can I get in over here? No, I can't. Okay. This is actually underground. The entrance to it is underground, so I need to go around. It looks like it shouldn't be too far before I can get access. I'm gonna get a drink of water. If you were adventurous and were to try, say, a split, there's so many of those. Like a split 60%. You got, like, the Kiryu Iris. You've got the Sawful. I think that's how I pronounce it. You've got the Jin, you've got the, crap. Come on, I know I can think of more than that. You've also got, like, the, Kufrensi, also from Kiryu, which is not, it's more like an actual 60% that just got, cut in half. But, yeah, I mean, like, there's such a variety of what is possible that it's like if you were to do just a random PCB, I mean the only trick I would see would be case and plate, because you would need those to be matched. Yeah, I could definitely see some people really enjoying that. I think I could. But it is also, to be fair, I don't know what I'd do with them. I mean, it's like the 40% of the plank, I would think would be like, have it live in bag with a keyboard. Sorry, bag with the laptop. Although I'm not sure if I'd want to use it for work. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with using the NK65. Though I will grant, it's a little cumbersome in the bag. The cases. It's not that bad. But, yeah, I could do that. I could also just try to have that for like in a different bag. Because I've been using my laptop backpack because it can hold the NK65, but the other, I do also have like an over-the-shoulder bag. That might be better in some cases, and could be better for like holding the plane. Since those things are, they really are just small. And hey, let me check. How long have I been going? I'm at an hour. Okay. No, I'm gonna do this. Because there's no fast travel. Because I don't think fast travel. Yeah, you're not able to fast travel there, I think. Back here, so it's just now or never kind of thing. Of course, there was one thing about, you know, if I got a plank, there was one thing that would be the whole, maybe I wouldn't want it just to be, you know, the laptop in the bag. And that is, you know, being 40% in ortholinear, I don't know how much I would, well, how long it would take for me to get used to get used to typing on. I actually think for some things it would be fun. Dang, how are you supposed to get in there? It might be you have to come back. I hope not. Though it did just occur to me I can just warp back. You know, here, let me actually try warping back. Maybe it's night. No. Getting there.
Are you in the darkest areas?
Yeah. And I'll just stop here then. I mean, that was long enough. Alright. I'm certainly talking enough, I'm sure. Though that also does quickly remind me of something. Nope, but I can't think of an easy way of looking it up. I was thinking, how could I possibly look up other, come on, brain, other, the split 60. But it's like, no, that's not the easiest thing to find. Yeah, I did just pull up novel keys, so yeah. Tailbox. And the NK. Yeah, cream tactile, that's that one. Yeah, box navies. A 36 pack. Apparently Novel Keys has gone to selling them in boxes. Instead of you just purchasing like 70, 90, or 110 is how you could purchase them previously, and how, you know, those were the offerings for the mystery kits. But now they're doing it in 36 per box, which I'm sure eases their logistics so much. Now that does mean you need 2 for basically the majority of builds, 40%, 60%, 65%. That'll cover all of them. At TKL though, you'd need 3 at 10 keyless, because those have close to 90 switches. I think I don't remember how far above or below they are. Can I actually? No, I don't. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand them going to that side. Yeah, so just the box jades, clicky, 70-gram peak, 50-gram operating, 65-gram bottom out for the forces. Box navy, 90-gram peak, 75-gram operating, 90-gram bottom. That's very different. And I'm just quickly something. Here. I wanted to pull up one of keywords because they also do sell box switches. Apparently they don't have them in stock at the moment though. I was just curious what their pricing was. But yeah, one of the 36 per box, one of the 36 switch boxes from Novel Keys, which restocking Q2 2022, so that may be why One Up Keyboards doesn't have any either. That they're waiting for stock. 1224. So I got those mystery switches work out to like half off. Hey, I'm happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. Yeah, and box switches are IP56 water and dust proof. Yeah, definitely. Although it says that they're not compatible with, they're only compatible with SMD LEDs. I thought that they could take more. Thought that they did have enough of a slot there to slide through. I'm just curious. Oh, they do. The box silent browns that I was mentioning and pinks. They actually have both of those in stock. $21.60 per. Which is actually not that surprising. Because they are, for a long time, they were out of stock. You couldn't get them. The normal box browns, not silent, $10.80 a box. Yeah. Well, anyway, I should really be stopping. But yeah, just I'm pretty happy with getting those box navies. I'm not completely certain what I'll do with them, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. And as I said, I do think that is something that would be neat to see done regularly. In here, I'm actually quickly looking. Novel Keys has two different PCBs. One is restocking the NK65 PCB, and there's a WT60C PCB. Compatible with most cases. Uses USB-C. Has RGB LEDs already on the bottom. It is hot. Is it? No, it's not hot swap. Oh wait, no. Oh, that is per switch. Per switch RGB LEDs are already there. So that's like what the NK65 uses. What it already has. The bottom row is fixed for 7U spacebar and 1.5U modifiers, which is not norm white. I think it's 6 1/4 is the ANSI layout, and then it's 1 1/4 for the modifiers. I know it's 1 1/4 for the modifiers. It's the spacebar I don't quite remember. Yeah, well, anyway, I do think that would have been neat if they also did, random PCB. But it looks like they don't necessarily have a large selection of PCBs. KeyBio, they have quite a few. Here, let me actually look at that. I mean, they have the split for just split keyboards, the IOS, the QFrequency, the Sync, the KBO 5000, which is basically two massive ortholinear layout boards. Fold KB 11 cent. Oh, maybe that's the BFO 9000 something. Nyquist FFT and the Vitabiri. Nope. The KBO is a split 80% board. So that's a little bit different. The BF 9000 though is the BFO 9000 is it's a big thing. And it's actually designed so you can split off pieces. Yeah, it's interesting. So they could maybe do a random PCB. Maybe, combined with a with, even just the simple sandwich skeleton kind of plate case setup, something like that. I do think that I do think that there are people that would work great for them. It's like, I want to do this, I don't know what to get. Save some money by doing that, because if it's random, it makes sense. You charge a little bit less. And it's, so save some money. What you get, it will be complete. You don't know what you're going to get, though. Maybe let it be, yeah, I want a tactile switch. Just give me a mystery tactile switch. Okay, great. Here you go. And build it. And I could believe that a lot of people, they could do that. Have fun with it. Enjoy it as it is. Or maybe be like, you know what? Nah, this isn't quite my thing. But I built it. I can sell it to somebody. Or I can trade it with somebody. Or give it to a friend. I could see there being a market. Anyway, gotta stop so I can get things processing and all that, and actually also get to some other stuff too. So, yeah, see you next time.